Today I'm going to be talking about my experience 6 months in after undergoing a hair transplant procedure in Bangkok. The clinic I chose for my procedure is Hairsmith Clinic, operating under Dr. Prima, which took me from this to this. A lot of people have questions about how the whole process works and what the results turn out like, so I'll give you guys some info up front. This is a procedure which takes about 4 to 8 hours depending on the size of the recipient area, and has been utilized by tons of celebrities you're already familiar with, which I'll throw on screen. There are a few different ways of technically going about it, but the fundamental idea is that individual grafts of hair follicles are harvested from an area in the back of your head, which not only has great hair density, but is also known to be much less affected by hair loss later in life. You are awake throughout the procedure, but from my experience, you do not feel a single thing. All the way to the point that I fell asleep during my procedure, just because I was comfortable watching a YouTube video. Once the hair grafts are harvested, they are transplanted into the donor site, which for women is sometimes a receded hairline from tight ponytails, genetic hair recession, etc. And for men is common with age because of some hormonal stuff in your body that I don't understand.
DHT hormone is the main cause of hair loss and thinning.
Yeah. Oh, that wasn't bad at all.
How is it?
Not bad actually. I've done like the fingertip blood test before, and it's usually like, I'm really squeamish about it, but that was like 2 seconds. Easy. The surgeon means everything about this procedure because they're the one that's making the judgment about how the hairline's gonna look and, consulting with you to make sure that they're getting the results that you're after. This is exactly why I decided to go with Dr. Prima, but we'll get to that in a little bit. There is one mistake that I made throughout this process. The staff wanted to accommodate my comfort before we began, so they asked me to choose like what type of music that I'd like to listen to throughout the procedure. And I thought, well, I can listen to 5 hours of my favorite band. No problem. I don't mind if I listen to every song they've ever released. What I hadn't considered is that 3 to 5 surgeons would also be listening to my favorite band for 5 hours. So if you opt in for a 3 to 8 hour surgery, maybe go for some variety or like a top 10 songs to perform surgery to. The whole procedure was really great. I feel that everything was probably 10 times easier than I expected it to be. Having the local anesthesia injected, having blood taken, all the things that seemed like the scariest part to me ended up being way easier than I could have imagined. I don't know how they make it so quick and painless there. I'm really not a person who's like comfortable to do this kind of thing, and they made me comfortable. Gonna get some rest now, because I didn't sleep at all last night, and that's exactly what they tell you not to do. You're supposed to get like a full night's rest before visiting. 2 weeks after my procedure, post-op care is especially easy. I can wash my hair relatively normally, and any scabbing around the recipient area comes off pretty naturally while doing so. It's pretty easy to take care of yourself if you're flying far away after visiting the clinic. Just take it easy and don't do any rigorous exercise. I'm 3 months out from the procedure I had done at Hairsmith Clinic in Bangkok, and the new hair has begun growing in, which will be permanent. Right now, I'm in the phase where the results are just starting to show because it takes time for the procedure to have its full effect. The hair in the back of my head grew back a long time ago. I've already had a few haircuts since the procedure, and to be honest, in my case, no noticeable scarring in the back of my head either. I really thought procedures like this seemed intimidating at first, but the whole process was like nothing. The first thing you're probably wondering is how I feel about the results. I keep messaging my friend every week. The process doesn't happen overnight. The procedure only takes a few hours, but it takes up to 12 months to see the full results. So every couple of days that go by, it improves. So I keep messaging her every day like, yeah, just took a shower. Just finished cooking dinner. Yeah, I just lit a candle. Notice anything? And since I film myself a lot, it's saved me a lot of time as well. A lot of people who've seen me over the past year or two probably thought my hair was fine, but it would take 5 minutes of me messing around with it in the mirror before I would go out, film, or whatever else. I still do that, but generally it only takes a couple seconds now, whereas it would take me a couple minutes before. I remember there was this one time that somebody wanted a photo with me, but they didn't speak any English, so I just heard like YouTuber or something, and then Thai-root, and I was like, chai, แป๊บนึงนะ So you guys will notice that from clinic to clinic, results can vary a lot. I knew that I wanted to do it in Bangkok since cosmetic procedures are more common there than where I live when I'm in America. So after taking a look at a few options, I found Dr. Prima and I felt so confident that this was the place for me. Being able to see how approachable she looks as a person, but also how great her results are, I felt like, yeah, this is perfect. It's important to create a natural hairline that's not too straight across and doesn't excessively lower the hairline to a point that seems unrealistic. You want someone like Dr. Prima who can assess the shape of your face and the way your hair grows naturally to determine the best results for you specifically. The whole staff at the clinic was super nice. They set up a line chat with me for if I had any questions or concerns while I was at home, and I can still use it even now if there's anything I need to ask them. For example, on day 4 or 5, I was experiencing some itching in the back of my head, which is very normal for the healing process. But you're not supposed to scratch the donor area because it would obviously mess up the healing process. And so I asked if there's anything that might help relieve that sensation. Introducing Cool Spray. Who's this cool guy? Who's this cool guy? Here's a quick side-by-side comparison for anyone who's curious about a before and after of using the Cool Spray. I sprayed too much. When I walked in to meet Dr. Prima, she was super sweet, and when it came time to do the job, she was professional too. She has 10 years of experience, she really knows what she's doing, and she's even certified by the American Board of Hair Restoration Surgery. When she was getting close to finished with my procedure, she was giving me that look that an artist would give their painting before adding like the finishing touches. I could really tell that she had an interest in giving me the best results possible. If you guys have any questions about the procedure or if you're considering doing it yourself, feel free to leave questions in the comments. If you're from America, you can fly over there and fly back all really quick. If you're from Thailand, great place, recommend it. I don't have too much more to add right now, but here's another before and after of my results. And we can expect that it will keep improving more and more over the next 6 months. So be sure to follow me on TikTok and Instagram where I'll eventually share my final results. That's all from me, guys. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.